Hello, welcome to Kapow Toys Presents. I'm your host King Grimlock, and today we are going to be looking at the eHobby exclusive Alternity Ultra Magnus. Ooh, this is a sexy little beast. There is something really gorgeous about this car. I just love the overall aesthetic of it. It's actually a pearlescent white rather than an outright white, even though it doesn't probably come across too well on this exceptionally white background. But the minor amount of paint apps actually really add to the overall aesthetic of this car. The fact that every window has this black lining around it as well, like it's got eyeliner actually, really picks out the detailing in it. Yes, it's very panel heavy. You can see a lot of the panel lines in it, and I think that is mainly because of the colour. But the actual design and the overall aesthetic of it is stunning, and everything seems to work very, very well for what it's supposed to do. The lights look great. I mean, they are all crystals, or plastic, so you know what I mean. And you can make out the little badge in there. There's Nissan GTR, I believe, and around the back as well. Little bit of detail. There is a little badge on there as well. I'm not sure how well that will show up. But all the lights, the exhausts are picked out. My personal favourite, the silver on the wheels. They are rubber tyres as well, and you can see the brake discs inside the wheels as they turn, which looks lovely, looks stunning. On the underside, it's all very tight. You can see the robot hands and feet, but mainly if I'd have tucked them away properly, you wouldn't be able to see them that much. And, you know, it is the minor details on the top that make the difference to make this so appealing. The fact that it has mirrored rear view mirrors. And when you open up the car door, you have a fully detailed interior. There is a handbrake, a gear lever. Let's see if I can actually get that door open as well. Handbrake, a gear lever, the steering wheel, seat, glove box around this side as well. There is actually interior trim on the door handle, the seats obviously. You know, it's really, there's an indicator stalk. The main dash is there as well, and even in the seats fold forward, and even in the back, I'm not sure how well that will come across, there is two seats in there as well, even though they are made up of different colours unfortunately, because part of it makes up the thigh, which is silver, and the other part makes up the foot, or the leg, which is obviously black. You know what, this is gorgeous. This is stunning, to be honest. The fact that they've gone to so much effort to pick out details like the indicators on it as well. Someone really spent a lot of care, love and attention on this. I'm a massive, massive, massive alternators fan, and to have something of like an alternator scaled down is brilliant in my eyes. The character it represents might be a problem to most people, because obviously it is just a repaint of the Alternity Convoy, the Prime, which has already had 3 colour schemes. This will be the 4th paint job that he's going to have. The red and blue, obviously the most popular, the black version and the silver version is now joined by the Ultra Magnus version, as seems to be the want nowadays, that Ultra Magnus is just Prime. But when it is this nicely done, I don't really have a problem, and as I don't own any of the other variants on the mould, I really enjoyed this. It's possibly not enough to make me pick up other alternatives. I already own the Cliff and the Bee, but the Megatron and Starscream moulds don't really appeal as much. That said, if they are all of this quality, then I could quite easily recommend them to everyone. Just take in all those sexy panel lines. It is, as I say, panel heavy, but it looks good and it feels good in hand. It's very weighty. There is a lot of metal in there. There's a lot of meat behind it. But the most important thing, I guess, for this sort of figure is the robot mode. So let's take a little look at what this guy can do. And what you get from Alternity Ultra Magnus' robot mode is a highly detailed robot. It is immaculately made. The obvious care and affection has gone into it. The panels that all fold together and clip in, all of the area around the leg is simply stunning. It is a feat of engineering, it's that simple. I would like to highlight one slight problem with mine anyway, is that this wing panel here, the way it actually dips back inside, the joint on this side appears to be fairly knackered, hence why I haven't folded it in, and the tiniest pieces of plastic do have a habit of breaking off. While I would normally have a problem with QC being too loose, and this guy does suffer from a little bit of that area is exceptionally tight, and I'm still yet to undo it. And now, since I've snapped a bit off, I probably will never be asked to. He does come with armaments in the back of the chair. Nice little touch. Just a pair of twin lasers, one and 2. And he is very striking. He looks really nice. Let's take a look at the leg detailing. If you look, I mean, you can almost pick out parts. That is the back of the seat there. There is the back bumper, obviously the back lights, the outside wheel. And follow it around, there is actually the back windscreen. So you can see the amount of effort and time that's been taken to constructing details in that area. So it's ultimately intricate, but crafted in a way that it is possible to transform it without really thinking about it. And also, so there is very little kibble. I mean, you come round the back, and with the amount that's actually in there, you would expect something up here, but you literally have the roof and the bonnet. And while he is exceptionally chunky around the back area, this is one of the problems I will get to in a second, it doesn't look bad. Especially from the front, it looks exceptionally tidy. Now, the problem with that is all that entire section, that entire black section, pretty much is metal. Which means that all of this section, which is plastic, isn't really enough to weigh it out. So he does have balancing issues. But when you have solved those by propping him up against a wall like so, he does look stunning. I cannot fault this guy as a design piece. The sculpted detail around the groin area, the tiny little bits of dark blue, green being picked out there, and a minuscule Autobot symbol as well. I'd say the only downside I have is the fact that it's actually been painted up as Ultra Magnus. Why not a new head mould and call it something else that might appeal to people outside of just the Alternity line? I, for one, if they'd have called this, I don't know, Tailgate, and stuck a new head on it to remind us of the G1 Minibot, would have snapped it up in an instant because I'm a sucker. As is, he is Ultra Magnus, and if you already have one of the Alternity convoys, you know what this model is like. If you don't have it, you are more than likely not going to spend the money on an eHobby edition, when editions like the silver one are still quite readily available. That all aside, I heartily recommend it to anybody who enjoyed the Alternators line, anybody who likes a challenge with their Transformers, and anybody who's got the patience to basically work around an engineering puzzle. It is fantastically done, looks stunning on your shelf, and despite minor QC and weighting quibbles, is essentially a very, very nice transforming piece. Anyway, I've been King Grimlock. This has been eHobby Alternity Ultra Magnus. We will catch you guys next time.